want to start off this video by saying thank you to every single one of you who are subscribed. And those who aren't, you're awesome as well for even clicking on these videos. Feel free to subscribe. I love all the support you guys give, especially the ones who leave comments. I absolutely love reading these comments, and I read all of them. I just want to give a massive shout out to my favorite subscriber out there. Yes, I have a favorite just because of these specific, stupid yet amazing comments where Eminem song titles are being used, and just read them.
What do you mean by that?
It's like I look like an idiot smiling right now because they're just funny to me. They always crack me up. And low-key, it's the comment I look forward to every time I post something. Of course, I look forward to all of them, but this one specifically, it's just hilarious. Anyway, this is a story on how I became a quote-unquote stan. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't always an Eminem fan. Some would even say I was low-key a hater. My whole childhood consisted of Latin music, pretty much. I heard some Eminem songs as a kid in the 2000s or even early 2010s, but I didn't really have any in my playlist. Like, I didn't listen to his music until the mid 2010s to late 2010s. In the early 2010s, I heard Eminem songs more than before, but I never really cared to listen. Never gave it a shot. I might have even said he was overrated or something at some point. Something I would have said, I can tell. But that was just because I refused to listen. Anyway, things have changed, obviously. Especially now that I consider him the greatest of all time. I have friends telling me that, quote unquote, the glaze is real, and that I'm a dick rider, and they even get annoyed by how much I love Eminem and his music. But anyway, by the mid to late 2010s, I only had a few of his most popular and basic songs. Yeah, they're some of his best, but there's definitely better songs. Which, by the way, you should check out this video that I'm putting on the screen. Just thought I'd promote it, because why not? Some of the more basic songs that I had, popular ones, were Not Afraid, Love the Way You Lie, Stan, Rap God, Lose Yourself. Then I met a special someone. The special someone was a huge Eminem fan. A fan who didn't like his newer music, like a lot of fans these days. I then proceeded to date this person. Now, I won't give a whole love story because she and I split. I won't go into detail on why, just because that person might be watching this, which I hope not, considering, yeah, I really shouldn't get sidetracked easily. So yeah, she introduced me to Eminem officially, as I like to say. I would then sit down and listen to each album with no interruptions at all. I began with the Slim Shady LP. Yeah, I know Infinite came out before, but I didn't check that out until after Music to Be Murdered By, because the death of Slim Shady wasn't out yet. After listening to it, I was wildly impressed. I've never been the type to just sit down and listen to a whole album before, but here I was. The next day, I listened to the Marshall Mathers LP and the Eminem Show, and wow, just wow, peak. The definition of perfection. I fell in love with his music. I was already a stan. At least I felt like it, because these two albums, which I think are his best two, were just amazing. It was the best album I've ever heard. And if you're wondering which album I'm talking about, I am talking about the Eminem Show. And I still stand by that. After that was Encore. I went into listening to Encore with very low expectations. I heard all the backlash and hate the album got, so I was a little bit skeptical. I actually came out enjoying it. There were a few tracks I didn't like, but over time, I became very fond of them. I just love Encore very much, but that's all that matters. Then we move on to Relapse. I hope the Relapse cult followers don't hurt me. The first time listening, I was left wanting more. I listened to the refill, so it was already 20,000 tracks or whatever, but they were all 7 out of 10s to 8, 8.5. And at the time, there was only a couple songs that really stood out from the rest. I believe Beautiful and My Darling. But of course, over time, I ended up loving each song even more. They just get better with age for me. A song that I found decent, I end up loving today. Whether it's a song like Insane, We Made You, and so many other songs. There's only a very few songs that I believe didn't age well. But for the most part, Relapse is great. I mean, I can't even lie. I love Relapse. Don't worry, great album. Recovery was next, and it was great. There was literally only one song that left me disappointed. It was still decent, I just hated the chorus. Then came Marshmello's LP 2. This is one of the albums that got better over time. I thought it was solid the first time listening. Now it's in my top 5 Eminem albums. It's amazing. It's like so damn good. We arrived to everybody's favorite, Revival. I came into this one even more skeptical than I was for Encore, and I thought it was okay. About 3 songs stood out from the rest. The rest were just okay. Now, I actually really like Revival. There are many great tracks. It's so overhated. It hardly has any skips for me, to be honest. Kamikaze's listen went by way too quick. I thought it was like 20 minutes. Either way, I finished it feeling satisfied. Unfortunately, it is probably the album I go back to the least, besides Infinite, but it's still a very good album. After Music to Be Murdered By, I was ready to announce that I was a stan. I loved Music to Be Murdered By, both side A and B. That album is extremely overlooked. I wish more people would appreciate it, honestly. It has its fans, but it also has quite a few haters, and I just never understood why it gets the hate that it does. And there I was. I had listened to every Eminem album. When the death of Slim Shady got announced, I geeked out like a fangirl. I stayed up all night waiting for it to drop, even though I had to work at like 3 in the morning. I remember sitting in my car listening at night. That was my favorite listen of all the albums because it was a release night listen. The album was incredible, and so was my experience. I laughed, I cried, and more. The album was incredible. And now I'm making YouTube videos about Eminem and people were actually watching. I never thought I'd say that. I cannot express how grateful I am for everybody who's watching. If I could, I would literally spend hours talking about Eminem with each and one of you. That's how much I love the GOAT's music, you know? Gonna be completely honest. I do listen to other stuff, but Eminem is definitely by far my most listened to artist. Last year Spotify Wrapped, he was number 1, and it wasn't even close. This year, I can assure you it won't be any different. This was my last year's Spotify Wrapped, just in case anybody cares to know. I doubt anybody does, but then again, you are watching this video, so maybe you do. If you guys have any suggestions on what type of videos you guys want to see, let me know in the comments. I created this post and I got a couple comments giving suggestions. Are you interested in any of these? Do you have something else in mind? Just let me know down in the comments and I'll try to make it. And remember, although most of you are here for Eminem, that's not the only type of content I can make. I'm also very into wrestling and Marvel, so if those videos can do somewhat decent, I'll post them as well. So yeah. In regards to the reading the hot takes video, I haven't started working on it just because I was working on this one. I also haven't read any of those comments yet just because I wanted to save them for when I recorded the video. And I'm also debating whether to make one long video with every hot take on that video, or if I should split it up into multiple videos. Maybe I could do a live stream about it. Only choose a specific amount. I kind of want to include all of them. I want everybody to know that their comments are being seen. So just let me know as well, if you reach this part of the video, what you would rather me do when it comes to the hot takes video. But yeah, that's my story. It's nothing crazy or out of this world. I just thought I'd share this with everybody. Once again, thank you for 1,000 subscribers. Hopefully I can keep growing. Hopefully I can reach more people. I legit never thought I'd hit this tiny milestone that feels like an absolute massive accomplishment. So once again, thank you, and I'll see you next time.